welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into something today that is absolutely going to rewire how you look at the inner workings of your own mind. We all have that voice in our heads, right? That stream of consciousness, that sense of self that feels so undeniably ours. But what if the way you experience your very own thoughts is actually just an incredibly elaborate illusion? I want you to think about the last decision you made. Really, look inward and ask yourself, do you actually know why you made it? Whether it was what you grabbed for breakfast this morning or a massive career move, you probably have a perfectly logical explanation ready to go. But as we're about to see, the true origins of your daily choices might be completely hidden from you. Okay, let's lay some groundwork here with the concept of introspection. It's the act of paying attention to our own mental states. For most of us, it feels exactly like looking through a perfectly clear window straight into our minds. We just assume we can peek inside and watch the gears turn, registering our thoughts and desires exactly as they happen in real time. So let's kick things off with part one, the feeling of thought. Before we break anything down, we really have to acknowledge just how real our thoughts feel. We implicitly trust this feeling every single day. Philosopher William Lycan points out that our conscious experience leans heavily on three massive pillars. First up, accessibility. When you think of a word, boom, it's just there. It feels immediate. Second is continuity. Your thoughts feel like this smooth, unbroken stream that belongs to a single you. And third, authorship. You feel a clear sense of control, like you're the one in the driver's seat actually generating these thoughts. These three things are the absolute bedrock of our inner lives. But here's where things get wild. Part two, the limits of introspection. What if those foundational pillars we just talked about are actually a really good optical illusion? Back in the late 70s, psychologists Richard Nisbett and Timothy Wilson stumbled onto something huge. They found that when you ask people to explain their choices, they consistently give these fantastic, totally logical reasons. But, and this is a big but, those reasons rarely match up with what actually influenced them. The researchers would secretly tweak hidden variables that completely altered people's decisions, and nobody, literally no one, ever mentioned those variables when explaining why they did what they did. So the takeaway here is absolutely crucial. Instead of actually observing our mental gears turning, our brains are just instantly generating plausible guesses. Nisbett and Wilson called these implicit causal theories. You aren't really looking under the hood of your own mind, you're just making a split-second inference based on what makes sense for who you think you are. You're guessing, not observing. Which leads us perfectly into part three, the mind's spin doctor. You've got to hear about this modern mystery. It shows just how crazy good the mind is at making things up out of thin air. Researchers Lars Hall and Petter Johansson set up these famous choice blindness experiments. The setup was super simple. They showed people photos of two different faces and just asked, hey, which one of these do you find more attractive? Then, they pulled off a literal sleight of hand. After the person made their choice, the researchers would sneakily swap the photos and hand back the face the person did not pick. Then they'd innocently ask, so, why did you choose this person? And the results were mind-blowing. A huge chunk of people completely failed to notice the switch. But wait, it gets crazier. They didn't just shrug it off, they actively started spinning a detailed narrative to justify a preference they literally did not have. They'd confidently point out things like, oh, I just really loved her eye color, completely ignoring the fact that 5 seconds earlier, they had rejected that exact photo. Cognitive scientist Steven Pinker totally hit the nail on the head here. He says our conscious mind isn't the central CEO calling all the shots. No, it functions way more like a PR team. It's a spin doctor whose entire job is to step up to the podium after the fact and make sure your internal story sounds perfectly coherent, even if they have to completely fabricate it. So, what's actually running the show? That brings us to part four, the silent cognitive machinery. If your conscious mind is just doing PR, we need to look at the hidden mechanics that are actually driving our behavior. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman gives us an amazing way to think about this. He splits the mind into two interacting systems. System one handles the fast, automatic, and completely silent processes. It turns out your initial gut feelings without you feeling a thing. System two, on the other hand, is the slow, effortful part. This is the part that actually feels like thinking to you. But the catch, System 2 is usually just rubber stamping or justifying the invisible choices System 1 already made. And because System 1 works entirely in the dark, we just don't have access to it. Kahneman profoundly points out that we suffer from this wild double layer of unawareness. We aren't just blind to the hidden forces driving our choices, we are completely blind to the fact that we are blind to them. Our brain confidently tells us we have the whole picture, when really we're just reading the spin doctor's press release. Psychologist Daniel Wegner took this a step further by looking at our sense of control. He found that our feeling of "I did that" is really just another lightning-fast guess based on timing. It goes like this. First, a thought pops into your head. Second, an action happens. Third, your mind instantly connects the dots and assumes the thought caused the action. We don't actually perceive a true causal link. Our brain just looks at the timeline and slaps a "made by me" sticker right on top. Wigner famously called this the illusion of conscious will. He proved that even though the feeling of being in control feels undeniably real to our everyday experience, it's ultimately just a story built on purely circumstantial evidence. The actual gears turning your behavior are operating way down in the dark, totally off limits to your conscious mind. Okay, let's pull all this together in Part 5, Introspection as a Construction. So we've basically shattered this idea of a transparent window into the mind. Where does that leave our identity? Philosopher Eric Schwitzgebel offers a brilliant reframe. Introspection isn't perception at all. You aren't actually looking at anything in there. Instead, it's a construction. It's an interpretation. It's like your brain is writing a real-time novel based on context, past experiences, and what you expect thinking to feel like. It grabs scattered fragments of data and hands you a polished, finished story. Going forward, we kind of have to view our minds in two distinct layers. Layer 1 is that vivid, undeniable feeling of thought. The inner voice, the continuity, the sense of control. We all have it. But Layer 2 consists of the silent, completely inaccessible mechanisms that are actually doing the heavy lifting to create those feelings. Recognizing this doesn't make your experience as a human any less real. It just means your conscious awareness is only the tip of a much, much larger iceberg. I'm going to leave you with a pretty provocative thought to chew on today. If your conscious introspection is really just the spin doctor's carefully crafted narrative, what exactly is the rest of your mind doing in the dark? Next time you feel absolutely 100% certain about why you made a choice, just remember, you might actually be the last one to know. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep questioning the obvious.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, Before Thought: How the Mind Constructs Reality Before You Know It. This isn't theory, it's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.